Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So there's obviously not a mix. I recorded, but I faced technical issues, and I recorded twice and faced technical issues twice. I'll get into it sometime. But anyway, so I decided I've always wanted to start this part of the channel where I'm gonna be having conversations. Hey, conversations. I'm gonna be having conversations, wholesome conversations, because we're wholesome. And I want to start by talking about how I went back to first year for the fourth time. So I've done first year 4 times. I might do it a fifth. 4 times, and I went back to first year at 26, and I was so nervous about it. But yeah, so this year I went back to first year again at 26, and I was so nervous about it. So context for those who don't know, right? I started this channel actually 2 years ago, and I just come out of hospital because of mental health challenges. And having come out of hospital, I started the channel, and it was gonna be wholesome content, and then I disappeared. In my disappearance, it was rough. I was going through a rough time for many different reasons. Anyway, I came out of that period of roughness with the decision that now I'm gonna go back to first year to study another degree. And I truly feel like this one is the one. This is the path I want to take. That wasn't an easy decision, but I could feel it for a while. Even coming out of hospital, I could feel that I want to get into creative spaces and study film. So I went and applied to school to go and study film. Not gonna get into which one because yeah, there's challenges there. So but let's move. So I went and I'm studying film, and looking back at the year I've just had, I feel like now is the time for me to get back to this part of the channel where we're having wholesome chats, because when I came out of hospital, I was very excited because I felt no, we're really wholesome, and we can help people and be there for people. I don't looking back now, no, I wasn't ready for that kind of responsibility, I'll say. But yeah, we good now. And so the first thing I want to talk about, I figured, seeing as I've had these technical issues, I might as well start this part of the channel, because I've been saying I'm going to start it, and I've just been sort of procrastinating on it, because putting yourself out there like this, it's not that easy. But anyway, so let me talk about it, right? The first thing is when they say you're on your own path, it's your own race, it's not a race, it's a marathon, and everybody's just on their own path, they really mean it, hey. I even coming to the decision to go to first year, one of my things was oh my gosh, I'm 26, or rather I'll be 26 when I go to first year. What's that gonna be like? And it's nah, listen, all these pressures that we put on ourselves because of society, forget all of that, because at the end of the day, you are the person who's going to be living with the decisions you make, right? Every decision you make in life forever, you are the only person who's going to live with every single decision you make. And to continue down a path, because say, for example, there's this narrative that, oh no, you will have wasted time. No, you didn't waste time. Wasted time is time doing something that is not for you, right? And there's also obviously the narrative of there's a certain expectation as to you should do this and then that and then that. That's how life should go. There's no how life should go, right? And what inspired this video was a conversation I had with somebody who's in first year but much younger, right? And she was telling me that what she's doing now is actually her second option, and she has a first option, which at the time when she came, she hadn't been accepted for, but now she is accepted for it. And she was she feels like she will have wasted time if she just drops what she's doing now and goes and does that thing. Obviously, as a 3-time dropout, I was listen, you have not wasted time. Wasting time will be continuing to do this thing that you can feel, yes, it's something I like, but what I like more is that thing, right? This other thing. And on that though, right, there's also the fact that we do not all have the same luxuries. We do not all live the same lives, right? So obviously it's a case of, if you can, go for it, right? And what I mean is, like, okay, look, if you do not ask, the answer is already no, right? That's another thing I've like learned over this year. That's another like thing that's kept me going this year, is the fact that I asked, and having not asked, maybe because I was like, no, maybe because yeah, granted, I have very supportive parents. Like, my parents have been supporting me through my mental health challenges and through all these career changes. They've been very supportive of every decision I've been making, right? Even at times when I was fumbling, shame, like, yo, don't get me wrong, like, I had my challenges, yes, but I've also fumbled a lot. But even at the times when I was fumbling, they've always consistently been there, right? But I understand that's not a luxury everybody has. But I could have easily assumed, I would say, I could have easily assumed that they will not be supportive of something like me changing career paths, like the first time when I changed career paths, right? But if you do not ask, the answer is already no. So remembering that, as I said, every decision you make, you are going to have to live with it. What's been very important, or what's been very key, and what's helped me get to this point, because I will not lie, like, this year has been the greatest year ever for me. And the most important part of that journey really was getting to know myself. Because by getting to know myself, and I mean truly getting to know myself with like truly getting to know myself, because the thing is, another thing, like, we've got some shaky aspects to us, right? I was going to use the other SH word, but like, you can't swear on YouTube. So we've got some shaky aspects to us that maybe we want to shy away from, or we don't want to face, or we don't want to confront, or we want to deny, or we want to cover up in some way, right? It's like, even getting to know those parts that are not so pleasant to know has been so key in getting me to a point where I'm like, I bet this is who you are. This is you, right? And knowing who I am has enabled me to know what it is that is best for me, right? And when you can tell that you're on the right path, like, even this DJing thing coming in, it's a thing of like, I went back to who I've always been. And by who I've always been, I'm like thinking, I used to love acting in high school. Like, I used to love that whole acting thing in high school, but I knew I don't want to go for it now. That's the important thing of knowing. Like, I could have easily been like, okay, I used to love acting, let me go act. I was like, no, I know I used to love acting, but really, I can feel that who I am, I want to make the films, right? And so I started that journey, and I can tell, like, that was the right decision for me. But I would not have gotten to this place had I not allowed myself to, I wouldn't even say start over. I'd rather say like adjust or readjust or realign myself consistently. And it's a consistent thing. Like, I remember even when as I said, this channel started like 2 years ago. One of the things I said in the video I posted way back when is that it's a continuous journey. Like, working on yourself, the whole mental health journey thing, it's a continuous journey. That's something I said. Actually, I've come to realize just enjoying knowing yourself is a continuous thing, because the experiences you have today are going to shape who you are, right? And so tomorrow you're going to relearn, consistently relearning. And yeah, man, like, if there's anybody out there who is maybe, now it's December holidays, and this is the time when, you can reflect back on the year and look back at it and genuinely ask yourself, coming next year, what is it that I feel, I should be doing? I'm particularly speaking here, of course, to people who are maybe contemplating about dropping out and like they're feeling like they've wasted time and listen, you're on your own path and the story is being written by you, and how you choose to write that story is entirely up to you. And if it's going to be a beautiful story, it'll be a beautiful story because you wrote it, and you wrote it the way you want it to be written. That is the most beautiful story that you can write. And so remember, yes, I get it. Like I really do. We're not all in the same like position. And so just remember that, look, if you do not ask, right, the answers you already know. So yeah, looking back at my first year, yeah, everything I was just worried about, anxious about, oh my gosh, I'm so old. Nah, like it's all in my head. So what? So what? Like I've had the most fun and I've met some incredible people. I've made some incredible friends. And yeah, man, this life thing, it really is, yo, when they say life has a formula, like life has a formula, like it really doesn't. So yeah, let me quit rambling. I just wanted to encourage somebody out there who is really feeling, maybe even feeling down or whatever about like going and changing their degree or changing the course that they're on. It's sit down with yourself and make the decision that you are going to be willing to live with. It's one thing to live with the fact that you didn't even try to make a change or to make the change in your life, to make that realignment in your life. It's another for you to maybe have tried and then been denied by life and circumstances. That's different. And that's a different feeling and energy to having not tried in the first place. So my encouragement is, if you're really feeling like, no, a realignment is needed, go for it. Like, really go for it. Don't just go for it and like really think about it. Like, for example, every time I realigned, especially this last time, I went to my parents with a full way forward that I'd like to take, that I feel like, and I was genuine about like every single change I made. I genuinely wanted to make that change. It's just every change I made was made at a greater level of knowing yourself or knowing oneself. And now I'm in a position where for the first time, I feel like I know myself enough to make decisions for tomorrow me. Not at like a huge scale of like, 10 years me, but like what I mean is like, I feel like I'm on the right path. Let me just put it that way. And that's a feeling I didn't have before. Before it was a case of, so one of my mental health challenges is ADHD, right? But it's sort of changed. And like having ADHD is no longer something I find as a problem. It's so good. It's so good. I love it because it allows me to do so many things. But that's actually the problem with ADHD is you're kind of good at quite a lot of things in very different things, in very different fields. And you're interested in things, or at least that's my experience. My experience has been also interested in very different things in very different fields, right? And what I've loved about having ADHD and doing film is it allows me to explore all these interests. Because like today I could do a documentary about, I don't know, something in medicine, right? And then tomorrow go head on in a film about, I don't know, something very different, finance, some guy in finance, and then learn all I want to learn about finance. That's what I love about film, right? But point is, what was the point again? Oh yeah, right. So because of that, every time I was making a decision, it was because at the time the thing was exciting me, right? Whereas one thing I know for a fact is being creative has always been consistently there. It's always been consistently there. So that's what I mean when I say I can feel now, or no, I am on the path that like. I'm on the right path, right? And the other times I was on a path I can take. So that's a very different energy, right? And so maybe you're sitting there and maybe you made the decision of, taking a path you can take, but you can feel or no, this is not the path, and you can feel it, and maybe that, no, this is not my path. If you're feeling that way, look, realignment, nothing wrong with realignment. There's no such thing as like wasted time. Wasted time, like I said, is the time you spend doing the thing that is really not for you. So yeah, I shamelessly have dropped out Shem. And so if there's anybody out there who's like, hey, dropping out, look, I'm fine. I am fine. Like, no. Fine is, yeah. And not only that, there's a lot of people. I've actually met quite a few people this year who are thriving, and I mean thriving, in their late old ages. And it's like, no, these are just people who finally found their path and they're on it, and that's why they're thriving. So really, life in J, we're just consistently trying to find our path. And even this expectation that you should know your path at 18. At me 18, I couldn't make a decision for future me. I couldn't make a decision for tomorrow me. But now, as I said, yeah. Okay, I'm rambling, but that's essentially what I wanted to talk about. And yeah, like I said, the channel is I'm still gonna post mixes. Don't worry, the mixes are not going anywhere. But there's also gonna be content like this now. And yeah, so have yourself a wonderful day. Today's Sunday, so I'm probably gonna post this tomorrow being Monday. So yeah, there's a mix coming this week. That mix with that song, that's just been a problem. Yeah, it's coming. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you watched till the end, if you like this type of content, yeah, do subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, smash the like button. And yeah, I'll see you the next time I make a video. I've got a few planned. So yeah, thank you for watching, and cheers.